Last month I got an email from a company called Graff asking me if I wanted to try out their latest angle grinder product. I had a look at their website, and the demo video on there was kinda impressive, so I said sure, I'll give them a go. Who knows, maybe this is some sort of revolution in angle grinder technology. So they sent me a couple of these metal slitting discs called Black, and as you can see they are definitely not black, but ironically they do sell a black disc, but that is for cutting wood. Now I've already tried one of these discs on some angle iron, and my first impression wasn't great. I found it loud and harder to control, and slower than a regular slitting disc, which actually is black. But you know, first impressions can be wrong, so I'm going to give this another go. This time make a little video, because that's probably what they want, a review video. By the way, there are lots of review videos coming out for this product. They must have been sending out a shitload of these. So let's compare this disc with a regular slitting saw disc and see if it can change my mind. I'm not a big fan of this type of packing material. You always need a tool to open it up, and that can be inconvenient, and it can also really hurt you. I've already experienced that once, but who knows, this might be a nice addition to that island the human race is building somewhere in the ocean. Let's go! But Greta Thunberg might have a different opinion. She has lots of opinions, if you ask me. If you are the kind of guy or girl or whatever, that's me being politically correct, by the way, who always uses a angle grinder wrench, you probably haven't done enough angle grinding in your life. You should just lock the disc in place and hit it with the palm of your hand. This one is a little bit tight. Yeah, there it is. I've never really hurt myself. It might result in a bit of a red spot, but that's all of it. Just don't do it with a wire brush. And you don't really need to tighten this up either. That's more than enough. I've never had a disc come loose. Alright, time to cut up some scraptonium. And I assume this is mild steel. It's about 1 centimeter thick and 3 or 4 centimeters high. I definitely recommend using ear protection, because this blade is loud, and eye protection is probably also a good idea. This metal disc won't wear as a regular cutting disc, so there should be less dust, and I will try and see if I can prove that by catching some of the dust with this rag, although there is a good chance the rag might actually catch fire, but I will deal with that if it happens. Another benefit of this disc should be that it won't heat up the material as much as a regular disc. So I'm measuring the temperature here, and I will check it again after I'm done with the cut. 7.4 degrees. Alright, glasses, ear protection. Here we go. The guard is broken. I dropped the angle grinder too often. Finally. $82. Inconsistent readings. And I just installed a new battery. Well, the highest 80 degrees. But still, it will definitely burn you. But it didn't get red. There wasn't a lot of sparking, and I'm pretty sure that with a regular disc I can start a fire. I definitely directed most of the sparks in the direction of the cloth, and it didn't catch fire, so the Graff disc is definitely producing not a lot of sparking. So that first cut left a nice sharp burr here. So let's see how good this disc is at deburring. Probably not as good as a flapper disc, but it should be better than a regular disc, which can really disintegrate when you use it at a angle. It fucks up the matrix in here, and sometimes pieces will come off flying. This being metal, there's not much chance of that happening. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I kinda liked it. Installing the fire blanket. Alright. Air protection, glasses, and here we go. No fire. Although there is a bit of discoloration there. That was also a whole lot quicker than with the Graff disc. And I don't think I was pushing as hard. Because with these regular cutting discs, if you press too hard, you will wear them out rather quickly. I forgot to check the temperature. I guess I will have to redo that test. Alright, this has cooled down to a bit more than 8 degrees. So let's try again and see if I can start a fire this time. No fire! Just, well, a little bit of a black spot. Well, actually it's a hole. That's all, folks. I'm sorry. A bit of a burr. Let's check the temperature. Almost 70 degrees. Let's flip the test piece and give that Graff disc another go. See if it can also burn a hole in the cloth. Finally. Temperature 124 degrees. It says here on the packing material, to avoid overheating at the cutting rim, the period of continuous work should not exceed 50 seconds. And a minimum 10 seconds interval between cuts should be observed. I think that might have been a bit longer than 50 seconds. It felt like at least twice as long as with the regular cutting disc. But as you can see, it didn't burn another hole in the cloth here. The sparks are more sparkly, not as black as with the normal slitting disc. And again, a nice sharp burr. Let's try a piece of aluminium. See how good this disc works on this stuff. Oh damn, that's loud. I forgot my ear protection and glasses. Let's try again. Less overhang will probably also help with the noise. Nasty burrs, just like a regular disc. Okay, so this wasn't as quick, but there wasn't a whole lot of aluminium dust. I like that. It also left a bit of a burr. Okay, now just for fun, let's also try a piece of wood. Not that I expect this will work brilliantly, but well, if you're lazy like me, you sometimes use the angle grinder. You work with what you got. I'm pretty sure this won't be as loud. First, a regular disc. Well, that really stinks up the place. I guess I should open up the door. And now the Graff disc. Oh, that's definitely slower. I was hoping it would do better with all those diamond bits on here. But unfortunately that's not the case. I guess that concludes my primitive testing. The first time I saw this disc, it immediately made me think about these diamond cutting discs for concrete and stone. And I actually considered cutting up this brick here, but that would really mess up the workplace. And because it's already dark outside, I'm skipping that test. Maybe someone else can do it. I guess it's conclusion time. After all these tests that I've done, I have not really changed my mind. This certainly isn't a angle grinder revolution, and I think Graff might need to consider changing their domain name from speedcuttergraff.com to slowgrindergraff.com. It certainly hasn't impressed me a whole lot, but who knows, maybe I got it all wrong. Lots of other reviews out there that have been rather positive. And to be honest, I must say I did like the performance when grinding aluminium. Less grinding dust is probably a good thing, and it is certainly healthier. Less sparks is probably also a good thing if you want to prevent fires. And who knows, maybe companies might even save a few dollars on their insurance premium if they start using these discs. But on the other hand, that might not compensate the loss in productivity. And then there is the price, almost $30 for a single 125mm disc is certainly a bit steep. But as usual, most new products are probably overpriced. Before I started on this video, I bought myself a pack with 12 cutting discs at the local Action store. I think the Action store might be comparable to the American Dollar Store, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, this 12 pack cost me less than €4, and that's a bit more than $4. They are probably not the best discs out there, but they will last an amateur like me a long time if I treat them with a little bit of respect, and if I stop dropping the angle grinder. Now I thought it was interesting that the company Graff isn't another Chinese company trying to make a name for themselves on the internet. They are actually based in Minsk in Belarus, one of the founding states of the former USSR. We in the Netherlands here call them Wit-Rusland. That's White Russia in English. But officially it's the Republic of Belarus. Now I am all in favor of a republic. I wouldn't mind trading in the king that we have over here for a democratically chosen president. I'm not saying the man is doing a bad job representing the Netherlands, but I think it's an antiquated system, probably kept in place by nostalgic feelings, and I just think it's wrong on principle. But in the Republic of Belarus, the president has been in power since 1994. I believe elections have been held back and the presidential term has been extended at some point. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it definitely is a bit fishy. I don't want to pass judgment on other countries' leaders. It's certainly not something an outsider should do. It hardly ever improves the situation, and most countries get the leader they deserve anyway. Look at the Americans, they got Trump. Good luck with that. I'm sorry, I'm starting to rant again, so I will shut up now. I think I've done enough talking for this video. So, till next time. Bye.